Hey guys, what's going on? Will here, Flawless Exotic Creations, coming to you guys with another video this week, and this one is going to be a little lengthy, I'm assuming. A lot of details. Gonna kind of educate myself, is hopefully put a lot of information out there for you guys on something very, very untapped. So the tragic gene. We've been working with it now. We have a breeder male. He's a granite tragic male. No recessives in it. I'll explain to you our angle, our approach. We're lucky enough to get into that gene, and we're very excited about it. It's a dark gene. I believe we're one of four, really three breeders, because two of them are pretty much the same, but that's working with that gene and try to progress it and move it along. We're probably, I'm gonna go off on a limb and say, probably gonna be one of the last people to the party as far as having anything available from that tragic gene, because we have to kind of figure out all the pieces and where they fall in for us and our direction of what we want to do with it. The tragic gene in general, we're kind of going against the grain of what we normally do. When we take a gene, whether it's acid or banana or stranger, we've done a lot of gene chasers series so far, and we'll do one on the tragic gene, but just not yet. We're still in, I don't want to say testing phases, but we're trying to figure out all the ID keys, what to really look for in this gene. A lot of different combos. You'll see certain things that will be there and then they'll flush away. For the information that we do know, it is a very, very dark gene, has a lot of blushing, has a little bit more contrast than I would say blackhead. But that being said, reason I say we're going in a different direction is because we want to be able to ID it and tell customers or other breeders, hey, that's tragic, or hey, that's not, one way or the other. Which I'll show off the breeder male we have, big boy, awesome stud, doing this thing in just a second. His lineup for this season was not complex at all. Okay, we bred him to two pie girls, no incomplete dominance at play, as well as clown girl, no incomplete dominance at play. Reason why we would do that is, yes, we still want to kind of throw those hets and start, progressing toward the future, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. But at the same time, we want to get the experience and see the diversity in the gene and what it displays over and over between clutches, and be able to ID it decisively. It's very, very important before you start gene stacking that gene and kind of getting it lost in the wash. So with that being said, let's show off the boy. So guys, say hello to our granite tragic male. He is absolutely stunning. We've shown him off before, but this is his first time breeding here. Pretty good lighting. So as you notice, he has a lot of flaming, white flaming and blushing, I'll say, coming up from the belly. But his belly is not a clean belly. He has a lot of pattern on his belly. A little, I guess, less than maybe leopard, but very interesting at the same. So the alien heads, we have a lot of floating alien heads, a lot of alien heads that cross over the dorsal, a lot of single eye random alien heads, almost reminiscent of monsoon markers, which we got a video coming up on that as well. But check him out. Very, very dark, nice contrast, granite, tragic. At the end of the tail, it's stripes. Again, this is all new information. We will put various clips of videos and pictures to help move this gene along. Like I said, shout out to the respective breeders, Chris Davenport, who imported the gene, as well as Tony from Hardwire. He is the bro, as well as Celtic Balls, who's doing their thing as well. So So as you can see, a few things that I'm noticing is how dark it is, how iridescent it is. That's something you're really not going to be able to tell on fresh babies that's never even shed yet. But again, that's another reason why we are going to be keeping this entire clutch, even if they end up being normals. You know, we just got to figure all this stuff out and be able to decisively say this is the gene and this is not. Which is also another reason why we're producing het pieds and het clowns, because we can move along and, you know, shoot for supers later on, or, you know, shoot for the clown version, shoot for the pied version, and kind of keep branching off and stepping up slowly, baby steps, and expanding upon while we still have him. So, which brings us to the story about clutch 10. What's in the box 10 was skipped. Reason it was skipped is because we're super busy. Here come the excuses, guys. We're super busy. We're always ripping. We're running with the geckos, with the snakes, cleaning, employees, the whole 9 yards, and actual family time that somehow, one way or another, when it was time to come down, we came down. I believe we were actually in Myrtle Beach, but when we came back, everybody was already out of the egg. The entire clutch, I believe it was seven babies, all out of the egg, and going in the shed. So it was really pointless to do a video on that specific clutch. Then on top of that, we kind of skunked all the odds. The pairing for that was DG pod male paired to our Inchi het DG pos het pod female, and we skunked it all. I believe the best thing we hit was 2 Inchies in the whole clutch. We hit no DGs, we hit no pieds. I mean, we just really sucked it up. So we got a clutch basically of normals. We have 5 normals. We'll show off to show you some comparison of things. So 5 normals, 2 Inchies. We won't even show off the Inchies. And everything is double het DG pod. Hit us up if you want something out of that. That's not going to be a very pricey clutch. They already got some mills in them and everything and ready to go. And it also allows us to show you visually, like, hey, this is what normals are looking like, and this is what the kind of crazy stuff we got out of this clutch, this tragic 2 pod clutch, because spoiler alert, everything looks like him. So that's kind of a plus. It's pretty awesome. But like I said, it all has to stay so we can kind of progress the gene and figure out a lot of the ins and outs and how it works and what it works well with. So if you've hung around this long, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you are enjoying this series. It's a little scattered. We will throw in a quick what's in the box. So we'll make this 2. This is going to be what's in the box season 2. This is going to be clutch 16 and clutch 17. I know, guys, I didn't say anything about clutch 16. So clutch 16 is really easy. It's here. They both came out of the egg at the same time. The pairing for clutch 16, again, we're getting our behinds kicked on some of these clutches, but we expected this. That pairing was a DG pied to G stripe hypo female, so we were going for our quad hets, and she gave us 3 slugs and 1 good egg. The egg went full term and it's good. So baby is out. It's a normal, but it's a quad het. So cross your fingers. We're going to pull that out first, and hopefully that ends up being a female, because that will be a holdback for us. And then we're going to kind of scoot along to the clutch 17. Let's get it. Okay, so we got 3 boxes here. One of them we will be able to move out rather quickly. It's exciting for us, but I mean, it's not visually anything like huge. So we'll start with that one. So this is going to be clutch 16 or egg 16. So right out the gate, it is just a normal, a very beautiful normal, very bright, very bright. May hang around and actually show this one off next to the other clutch to show color variants actually. But this is going to have a lot of probably influence from genetic stripe, it being het genetic stripe, het pied, het hypo, het DG. Very pretty. one of the prettier normals I've seen. Yeah, some of that pattern is definitely unique to being some type of a het marker. So let's see. Come on, guys. Hopefully your prayers and my prayers, and they will all align, and this will be, let's see. And it's a female. Female. Yes. Oh, look, she has some very interesting sidewalls as well. It's like a color change. It's really, really cool. So we have a female quad het. We actually have 2 more. So we're building that collection of females. Sometimes you have to get the simple females to build your army of complex females as you move forward. Beautiful. So I'm gonna slide her to the side temporarily. It probably will come back to her. And now let's see what we have. So here, okay, so this is our box of normals, guys. Okay, so check these out. These are just normal double het DG hide, and most with no eyes for the alien heads. Really cool though. And while I have them here, hold on. I said I wasn't, but I figure I might as well. When you look at these and you see a lot of them with, you know, no eyes or anything in the alien head, sorry, and it kind of resembles Inchy, you know, and you're thinking, okay, maybe it's just an Inchy. And for that very reason, I'm very happy that we did hit 2 Inchies. And now you can see, sorry dude, the difference between the Inchy and a normal. And Inchy was only on one side, so it's not super Inchy. It's a nice Inchy, but it's actually not a super Inchy. It's pretty cool. So as I reach over to the side, I'll be able to grab up, you know, maybe 1 or 2 of these different ones and show them in comparison. You see your pie markers, pie tracks, and everything on these guys. Really beautiful clutch. Really was hoping for it to hit some DG, some Inchy DG pies. That was the goal here. Remember, I told you all of our pairings have a goal. We don't do any pairings just to produce something. But we missed. So now these guys are available if you're needing them. I'm sure we have males and females. We have pairs. If you want to create you a DG pod on a budget, this will be definitely the way to go. I believe we have 1.1 Inchy double het DG pods as well. They're on the market as well. We just haven't taken pictures or anything to get them up. So to compare the quad het to one of these, essentially they are still variations with marker influences, normals, just normals. So with that being said, let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's cover these guys up. Sorry. Sit them to the side. And boom. So, like I said, they all look like Dad. So, that's cool. Really can't wait for them to shed a few times and to get more and more detail. This is some of the detail from Dad I was talking about being very specific with your IDing and being able to notice a lot of these single eyes in the alien heads, a lot of these hooks, fish hooks in the dorsal, a lot of random alien heads along the way. Oops, sorry. The pattern on the back of the neck is consistent throughout the clutch. But check those out. See that white flaming along the belly. Only thing you don't super really see is the messy belly, but I think that's because it has head pied markers. So again, that's probably a head influence. So in this little one this is the part that I don't know. Oh, and we're winning so far. So that is a female. So my best assumption is that's definitely going to be the tragic. You're going to hear that probably a lot. And again, we're not trying to sell any of them. Now, check this one out. Right out the gate, look at the neck. This is going to be a tragic. Same exact features as the previous one. Check out the fish hooks, the floating alien heads, single eyes, random alien heads resembling the Het Monsoon markers. Really, really cool. Striping down the tail. It's consistent with the rest of them. And this one is, oh, female as well. So right out the gate, 2 females. I won't bore you guys too much. I'm gonna try to move through them steadily, not rushing, but not taking my sweet time. Now look at this one. This one I'm gonna say is same thing, is indicative upon the same thing of being tragic. Look at those alien heads crossing over. Same thing verbatim as the last one. Striping, flaming. Really, really cool. Oh, I'm getting old, guys. This one here is male. Boom. So we have our male. So that's 1.2. Now, this one here still is going to be a held back, but this is one I will be on a borderline with. We have to figure this one out, wait for it to shed a few times because it has the blushing there, but the alien heads are not as crazy as the rest of them. You have some floating, you have some weirdness. Behind the neck is not as intense as the other 3. It's just not as wild off of first view. You do have some funkiness going on in the pattern, but again, this gene is very, very young. We're going to hold on to this, whether male or female, and figure it out. Let's see what this one is. And this one is female, so really, really hope that it is. So here we go, back to it again. This is going to be a tragic. Look at the neck. Look at that funkiness going on there. That is really, really wild. Really, really cool. Alien heads all whacked out, connected, coming over the dorsal. Single circles, Cheerios, random speckling down the back, and just like the monsoon het markers. And the stripe. And the blushing. Everything is just there and present. Really cool. And this is a male. So that's a male. So the last two, again, looking tragic. I feel like I've looked at enough videos and pictures and paid close attention to our mail that I think I'm pretty decent at it so far. But check that out. The fish hook connecting to the single eye alien head, random pattern, Cheerio on the dorsal, whacked out Cheerio there. Again, I'm being very, very picky and pointing a lot of crazy scattered pattern connections. But again, this is a very young gene. I want to put out information and the visual things out there, visual cues. So hopefully you guys, if you come across the gene or have a chance to get into the gene, you've then seen it already. And this is another female. Yes. So that's 4 females. And out of the 4 females, 1 is iffy, but the other 3 appear to be tragic. So let's see if we really win it. It's 2 males and 4 females. Now let's check this one out. Now, neck pattern is not there. It's not really consistent. You see some things going on, but then coming down the back, you do have some wacky Cheerios and connections down the back. A lot of floating alien heads, a lot of connection overlapping, a lot of wacky patterns. Still have the blushing, everything, all the other markers, if you want to call them that, are there. That's kind of indicative of it being tragic, but I can be wrong. But honestly, guys, everything I'm seeing, I think this entire clutch is tragic. Oh, female. So I think we have 2 males, 5 females, 4 definitely tragic, but I really believe the whole clutch is tragic. And again, we have some more clutches coming from that male. So what we would start to think is maybe he's a super. If he's a super, and again, we're not jumping the gun, we're just saying maybe. If he's a super, that'll be proved out hopefully this season. If we have 3 clutches and everything come out looking like this, then that's going to prove out for us enough that he's a super, and then we'll move forward accordingly. That'll make him even more powerful. So cross your fingers for us on that one. Now, before we go back up top, let's show you some comparisons. You know, now when you throw that down in there, you know, that's easily picked out. There's no way you get this confused with this in the clutch. Let's get up close and personal. And I understand they are not snake for snake. This isn't a true normal, and this isn't a true normal, you know, or single gene tragic, but we don't have single gene baby tragic with nothing in it. So it's the best we got. And overall appearance, it really is darker. And again, I can't wait for these to shed out. Let me grab a couple that has shed out from the normal double heads. Again, it's not fair comparison because these are all shed out already, and the ones we're looking at in tragic has not. But I assume that this is going to be darker once it sheds. It's already darker than the normals as it is right now. And I'm grabbing random ones over here because they literally all look the same. They really do. And shameless plug, all these guys are available. So hit us up. Hit us up on Instagram. We'll get back to you right away. They are not expensive at all. So, boom, there you guys have it. You got clutch 16, if you can call it a clutch of one egg, and clutch 17. Thankfully, clutch 16, female, holdback. Working, yeah, it's not super complex and pretty, but it's extremely powerful for, like I said, in the, I don't know, 4 or 5 years from now, 3 years from now, we got a lot of things in the works where if we breed it to that girl, we can possibly hatch out some quad, visual recessives with incomplete dominance at play. So still excited. It's a blessing that one egg gave us a female that's going to be a holdback and put her in the ranks as we move forward. And then the big bang of a clutch, clutch 17. Everything is a holdback in that because we need to figure all that stuff out. Quite thankful on the odds. We could have had more males than we had, females. So I'm like, oh, thank goodness on that. It allows us to have options as we move forward. Even having males is very, very important, but really wanted 1, 2 males max, but hey, three males is fine. It allows us to basically have now not only, if it all pans out, because again, we're trying to figure this stuff out, but we already have our granite tragic male. If we have 3 tragic males that are all 100% het pied, get them all a size, and we'll work them in different directions, and we can cover more ground faster as we continue to figure out a lot of this stuff. So super excited. Hopefully you enjoyed this extremely long episode of What's in the Box, as I've been scattered, but we're now all caught up. Expect another video coming out very soon on, I don't know if it's the next video or the video after that, on monsoon het markers. I know Darren is big on it. I know KG is big on it. He feels that it's an incomplete dominant and it's not a recessive as far as monsoon goes. That's my homie, but I don't completely agree with that. I think monsoon is definitely recessive, especially anytime you have combinations, no matter if it's simple or complex, of incomplete dominant traits, and you can't visually say, hey, that's, a het monsoon. If that was the case, I mean, a lot of POS hets and things online would already be picked up and scooped up for sure. But stay tuned for that episode. Hit the subscribe button, guys. We got a laundry list of videos just posted up here. Share it with your friends, share it with your family members, share it with people that you feel are interested in ball pythons, or share it with people you feel are interested in starting businesses on their own. You can apply this business concept across the board to multiple different business ventures. And we really, really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch our videos. So Will, Flawless Exotic Creations, and we out.